live by the creed, die by the creed. Unfortunate, no one deserves to die to gun
In
violence,
that manner.
violence of any sort. Like all of us, he has a right to his own opinion, even if they may not sit well with everyone. But to be shot like that.
Welcome to the Lao Jiaos podcast. This is where we bring you unfiltered and unapologetic take on the news, current affairs, and all the things people pretend to understand. I'm your host, Jing Yong, and with me is fellow Lao Jiao, Deng Yang. Hello, Deng Yang.
Yeah, Lao Jiao already 32 years old and still, you know what, never mind, let's not go there.
This is our second episode. Have you watched the first episode? How do you think it was?
I think Amos, especially when Tim talking about the whole vaping thing, it's actually quite interesting. I didn't know. I didn't take him for a smoker. Also, kids, remember, don't vape, don't smoke cigarettes. You want to smoke something, smoke tires. Don't ask me what I'm talking about. Figure it out yourself. Or smoke meats. Smoke meats. Smoke meats is a lot healthier.
Yeah, smoke meats. Yeah,
smoke meats.
That's the one scene anybody can take after a love for food.
My friend, over National Day, I was at his place, then he sent me this link for an entire slab of smoked salmon that he found on the NTUC app. All the FairPrice app. Later I'll send to you. Wow, it's like, and the price is not bad. I think plus includes delivery also. It's actually not bad. Entire slab of smoked salmon. I was like, wow, let me show. Yeah, if kids, you want to smoke something, smoke salmon.
Talking about youth and talking about like young people losing confidence in the government, there has been a lot of riots recently going around in the world. I think it started with Indonesia, then Philippines also has riot, then now Nepal also has riots. And I think interestingly, these few places, right, the youth has taken to taking the one piece flag as a symbol to say, oh, we are trying to rise against the government.
They have.
Yeah,
quite iconic actually, using an anime flag as a symbol of protest.
Okay, why do you think youth in these places are like trying to revolt against the government, and what do you think should be done?
I mean, the governments in our neighboring countries, we saw it even in Nepal and everything. They have said, even Indonesia has said, widespread corruption, a lot of bribery, a lot of, just very under table things lah. And like Indonesia, the ministers were getting a very big housing increase in their housing allowance or something, right? Yeah, and then while the people there are suffering, Nepal also, politicians and their families live in luxury while the rest of the population lives in financial difficulty, especially given now the financial climate around the world. I think people are just sick of this, politicians and getting all the kickbacks, and then while the majority of the country lives in,
poverty,
financial hardship. I won't say poverty. Poverty is a very strong word, but financial hardship. I've been to Indonesia quite a few times. Never been to Nepal, and Indonesians are some of the most hardworking people, regardless of what they're doing. It could be a food delivery rider, could be selling on the street, the food stuff, or whatever the hell they're doing. They're incredibly hardworking, and they do know that their monthly salary is quite literally peanuts. But then given the low cost of living there, it's manageable lah. But if it was any other country, and they're all like resign. I mean, ask friends who are Indonesian. It's like, what do you think about corruption and everything? And it's like that law. It's just part of our. It's just it's genuinely because I have an ex-classmate from secondary school days. His family is in business in I can't remember he doesn't live in Jakarta, but his family has his own business. So when it comes to bribery and stuff, it's like like that law must
家常便饭
must go with the flow.
I have to say lah, I mean, when you give your people less and less things to lose, then history has shown people will uprise and then they will want a new world order which is why the one piece.
Genuinely, I hope that our neighbors to the south, Indonesia, they resolve this somehow, because they're rioting on the damn streets there. I like Indonesia. I like Indonesia. It's a nice country. I have friends there. Food's great. Like, food's lovely. They remember that guy, that Nepalese guy who gave a very that time his graduation, he gave that one speech or then the fella comebacks for the protest also. I mean, it's something that I think the Nepali youth are very motivated by this. I think they've really seen very passionate, very motivated. I think they've seen the decline of their nation. I was just doing some reading. 20 years ago, the people toppled a monarchy that was affecting the people. Then form the two-party system, but then in recent years the two-party system merged into one without checks and balances. So basically it's like monarchy round two lah. Two-party system meant to combat all the nonsense that the monarchy was supposed to was doing.
Before we go on to our next segment, right, I want to say this is a bit like MediaCorp MediaWorks. So
it gets dark, but it's okay.
Second,
we can get darker.
Okay. Since this is our second episode, I still think there is a need to let our listeners know that our structure of our show. Okay, so our show is like the introduction, which we have just covered. Okay, and then there will be a segment of the week, followed by the 3 news that we will cover with popular and unpopular opinions. Then there will be an Alamak Meter where we will do a quick screen through and a quick comment on the news, and then there's a conclusion. Okay, so for the segment of the week, Ten Yang, what is your segment? Can you introduce to us, and what news will you be sharing?
Okay, I mean, since I'm like the car guy here, this week there was 2 articles that I thought really caught my eye lah. So one of them was how the incentives for electric vehicles were extended for 26 and 27, and then also how BYD's success in Singapore has helped to open the brands for other Chinese brands in Singapore. I think I'll cover the BYD one because I actually just spoke to some of my contacts in the car industry, the dealer side, actually just this past week. So yeah, I mean, let's talk about that. Okay, for some background, I've been in the automotive media industry since 2022. From then until now, I've really seen how BYD has built itself. Remember when BYD first entered, it was those green taxis, the blocky one that Uber used to use. Yeah, those were like the first BYD cars in Singapore, and they've come from that to like a whole range nowadays that has
a whole fleet
offerings from like budget offerings all the way to like the really fancy ones. It's incredible lah. Like seeing what BYD, and then the first proper car they launched was the Atto 3. This was in second half of 22. I think one thing very heartening about BYD is that they actually listen to feedback from the journalists. When the Atto 3 was first launched in Singapore, the tires were ridiculous. Like they had no grip in the wet. When the car was updated for 24, they came with proper Continental brand, the Continental tires. So they actually listen to the media a lot. Up to now, it's like you see so many brands that have come in. MG, Lexus, Premium Automobile, the former Audi dealer, has Zeekr, Xpeng, Deepal, Avatar. They just launched it like last month. There's so many other brands, and there are so many else coming in. Like even Omoda J-Crew. This year they've launched a product that really is going toe to toe with BYD's one of BYD's latest offerings, which is the Sea Lion 6 hybrid. Someone always has to knock the door down to not knock the door down, knock the door first to go in, and that everyone else will follow. I think even in like social occasions, it's like你敲门我不要，我害羞的，我说不要 OK 我敲门 I think someone knocks the door and say, hey, hi, how are you? And everybody just goes in after that.
Correct.
So BYD is that fella who went to knock the door first. It's not even on just cars, in terms of like regulation, like things that benefit the consumer. At BYD, you might think they only do cars, but no, they also do buses, they also do trucks, they even do forklifts. Wow. BYD is in so much things, and they also do their own batteries. To put it in context, I went on a media trip this year to China with BYD in March. Back then we were told they had 110,000 engineers. This was in March. I was speaking to one of the BYD guys on Friday during the dinner. They have 120,000 engineers. 120,000 engineers.
Wow.
During the trip, they told us Toyota has about 6,000 to 7,000 engineers.
Wow,
imagine,
wow.
You have 120,000 nerds just tick, doing all your research for you. Insane, you can't exactly fathom the intensity
amount
of
the work and the scale.
120,000 engineers that you just, and this is just your engineering side. Do you know what the Tesla Cybertruck is?
Yes.
We saw a Tesla Cybertruck at the testing facility.
Oh, reverse engineering.
I don't know what they were doing with it. They were taking it around the track. Then I remember I was like, I got a corner of my eye, like the silverish grey wet shape. I was like, what is that? Because they told us no photos. So obviously testing facility, no photos, red zone. I looked at it, I'm like, that's a Tesla Cybertruck. And this was in March, and that time Tesla Cybertruck's still quite hot. Now not so. But look at it, I'm like, BYD has laid the way. They are the number one selling brand in Singapore now, overtaking Toyota. And I want them to succeed because, they are the ones, trailblazer. You kind of want the trailblazer to remain up there. So, right on the coattails of it. But seeing that how Singaporeans now are getting more and more spoiled for choice with more and more brands, Chinese EV brands coming in, we shall see whether BYD can retain their top spot.
I think, Tenyang, interestingly, you gave me some insight into BYD that as a consumer, I wouldn't have seen. For our main news segment, our first news, okay, I actually saw this very interesting news, which is that a man who dated his boss gets $82,000 in unpaid salary after the Singapore company cuts his pay into half, then eventually terminates him. Okay, so to give our viewers some context, or also our listeners some context, what happened was that he dated his boss. They even lived together. And then halfway through the tenure, right, the boss cut his pay into half. According to her statement to the court is that, this pay was at first like that because we were supposed to get, I don't know, 2 or 3 projects. Then after that, one of the projects didn't get, then cut his pay into half and then eventually terminate him. So he went to court to fight this case. I don't think they're together anymore. And then the court
they're not together.
Yeah, correct. So the court decided to award the man, because he won the case according to the to their contract, to their employment contract, that he is owed in unpaid salary.
Can I just say, of all people to date, why date your boss?
Exactly. Why?
That is like on the list of bad ideas. That is like a top 10, maybe even top 5. Dating your boss. Why?
Can you imagine if you are a staff, then like, hey, the guy why so charming with the boss? Then confirm like you feel that this guy confirm get promotion, all these things. Yeah, and not only that, the boss has a son, and she invited him to stay with them.
Yeah, that is so weird. They moved in like pretty soon after they started the relationship.
Yeah.
And I think, definitely that's where problems started because I think they went too hard, too fast. And then,
I see.
Problems definitely developed in terms of like living and stuff like that. Honestly, I think that, didn't get the project stuff was kind of an excuse. What other reason would you get? I can't like exactly break up with him in the relationship. Let me try to find another way to make his life miserable, so perhaps he will leave me. That
to make him go away.
Personally, I still think dating your boss is a horrible idea. Like why?
How about dating a colleague?
We're declaring it to HR. I think that's 50-50 Can elect to declare it, elect not to declare, then just keep it professional at work. But then I think eventually news. I mean, it will come out in the open one of these days. I mean, people, husband and wife work together in the same company, maybe not same department, but maybe even same department. It happens,
exactly.
But yeah, like last time, in my secondary school, husband and wife were teachers, but the wife taught mother tongue Chinese, and then the husband taught D&T. So
that's totally fine. Two totally different departments.
Yeah, totally different departments. So, I mean, if you want to, just keep it professional at work,
So that is, I think, sort of the popular opinion, in the sense that a lot of people question like, why date your boss or why date at work, right? Then the unpopular opinion is, why not date your boss? Because that is the fastest way to get out the corporate ladder, right?
I mean, they're not wrong. I mean, this is a really a 50-50 situation. Like they say, a double-edged sword. If you play your cards right, yeah, bro, stonks. But if you play your cards wrong, brother, that kind of thing.
I agree with you, that dating your boss or your colleague, right? Things can be very charming, very nice one. But it's always when, like, let's say in personal life, you all fight. Then you all come to work. Are you all very sure that you all can work together on the same project or work together on the same thing and be like cordial? And like people won't say like, hey, you all like last night fight or something. I think this is a very, very big question mark when it affects work.
Confirm one. And then the gossip in the office. People love to gossip. One 鸡婆 sorry. There's always that one 鸡婆, that one capo in the office that loves to go and stoke the fire, throw petrol on the fire, and then just go and feed the flames.
Rumors can already arise from nothing. So when something is there, can you imagine this kind of rumors like spreading like wildfire? Oh my god!
Who so and so did this and this, and maybe they fought, that kind of thing. Hey, maybe last time. I'm like, oh my god! Can you imagine? Like work is already stressful enough already. Imagine if there's some moron behind your back talking.
I think both me and Tanyang agree that this kind of dating within your work, I mean, have to be done with caution. Lines have to be drawn. So if you really want to take on this very, very, very risky thing, right? Then of course you must be prepared to play by the rules or be caught in your own web of lies.
I mean, as the saying goes, don't shit where you eat.
Our second news we are covering today is actually somewhere further away, which is about the Charlie Kirk shooting. I would like to ask Tenyang to give our viewers some context. Who is Charlie Kirk? Why is he so controversial? Before we get into the shooting itself.
So he's this right-wing activists who actually advocated for quite a lot of controversial topics.
Yes.
As a friend put it, he's a very smart man. He actually is very good at debating, very good at showing people the other side of things. Politics, I stay out of it because it's an absolute bloody minefield. It's an absolute bloody minefield. I don't want to weigh in to say who's right, who's wrong, whatever.
Controversial statement that really shocked me was that he says some of the gun violence is sort of needed to protect the Second Amendment.
The whole Second Amendment thing, some deaths are required to, maintain the Second Amendment.
Yeah.
Another friend said, hey, did he really say that or not? I just Googled that quote. 30 seconds, I found the video of him saying it. Live by the creed, die by the creed. Unfortunate, no one deserves to die to gun violence of any sort is not the way. I mean, like earlier you said about all the protests in Nepal, in Indonesia, in the Philippines. Yes, people have gotten violent there, but understanding the people are frustrated there. So, okay, I kind of get it. Ultimately, still, violence is not the answer to solve problems. Like all of us, he has a right to his own opinion, even if they may not sit well with everyone. But to be shot like that, I don't know if you saw you see the uncensored video of the shooting?
I saw the Straits Times of it, so not the whole thing, but what
okay, I saw that. I found the uncensored video, and he was shot in the neck, and the blood that sprayed out was high pressure. Man. Was quite high pressure. So my guess is, if I'm not, I think some other like news sites have actually confirmed this also. He was shot. The bullet hit the jugular, which is the main artery in our neck.
Yeah.
So that one, because he has to transport a lot of flow a lot of blood, so it's higher. The pressure there is higher. Yeah.
Yeah.
So even if you had to die like that, at least the guy went fast. That's like the only consolation.
Yeah.
I think he went instantly, and if anything, that's the only consolation. I'm glad he didn't have to suffer, because that is a horrible way to die.
There are some that calls it karma. There are also some that say that, regardless of your political views or whatnot, you shouldn't be going out in this manner. People shouldn't be like gunning you down, this kind of thing. I think you also touch on the unpopular opinion, which is that this concept of freedom, right, which is like what Americans hold so true to them. Like what's this concept of freedom or absolute freedom? Is
freedom
this really
of
what
speech,
is best?
freedom of whatever.
Yes,
freedom
exactly.
To,
yeah. Is this really what is best for a country? Right? I really think it's something debatable, because I think growing up, I used to think that the US and the Euro is like the best. Like everything is good. Yeah, the food there is good, the people there is good, freedom is good. But this idea of like absolute freedom, like no things to say what is correct or what is wrong, or like you are correct to be wrong. Suddenly it sounds like something that we should debate about. It's something it's like a slippery slope like that.
Remember quite a few years ago, there were some guys in the States who wanted to burn the Quran, and because they called it a freedom of expression. Honestly, that was one of the that was like, dude, why? People want to practice their own religion. You want to be a member of the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. You want to be a Jedi. You want to be you want to worship a tree. No, the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster is actually a real thing. I mean, you want to worship Mother Nature. Yeah, sure, go right ahead, dude. I mean, it's a free world, just worship what you want. But you don't have to go and actively go and try to insult or harm other people just because of it. And also with regards to like the whole Second Amendment thing, 2014, I traveled to the States with my sister for about 3 weeks. I think one thing that really shocked me was in Texas, how people there can actively sling a rifle around their back and walk around, and nothing, and there is nothing wrong with that in Texas, at least in Texas. But so I actually asked one of the locals. It's like, what's your what concealed carry? What is it like here? Oh, concealed carry, we need a permit, and he actually showed me his pistol, his concealed carry pistol. But for rifle, you just walk around, all handy dandy, and it's all good. I could walk in the store right now, rifle slung around my back. Boleh, bro. Wow. I mean, obviously the fellow didn't say boleh, bro, but you know what I mean, lah. Yeah, I mean, you guys want to practice your Second Amendment thing. Okay, lah. Don't use it to harm your citizens, man.
Politics and opinions aside, right? We just hope that things can be resolved in a peaceful manner, lah. There's no need to really like get blood out, and like just because you don't agree with someone.
Peace, man. We just need peace in this world.
I would like to move on to our third news, which is that the Singaporean man, 21, pleads guilty to taking videos of women showering at gym he worked at. He taken photo of the woman showering at the gym. He also taken upskirt photos. So I'd like to ask Tanyang, what's your first reaction when you heard this news?
I thought last time our generation all a bit in the head, all a bit kisiao one. But no leh, you Gen Z, Gen Alpha kids are taking it to a whole new level, a whole new level of stupid, Like sometimes I'm even surprised that you all actually go that far, you know.
I really don't understand why would you, at 21 years old, you know that this is a crime, and then you know that you shouldn't be doing it, and then you still go take, and then later, after you get caught, then you express remorse like, oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be doing this. I don't understand this rationale. Like.
Geylang has good food, and good food. You need to go and scratch that itch, you can always go there.
I mean, besides protecting yourself, right, I think women also have to be, be brave and step forward and report it, because we also know that sometimes when this kind of thing happens to you, you might just think that, hey, I don't want to make this blow up because it's too leceh or like not really comfortable also. But I think we shouldn't let this kind of men that do this kind of crime get away with it, because I think it's just ridiculous.
I mean, I want to say that Singapore is a civilized society, and that women should not have to live with the fear that someone, when they're showering or they're changing,
exactly,
wherever, right?
Yeah.
That some asshole is going to take the camera, like Chit, or go and take like video of it. But unfortunately, humans are ugly. We are monsters. This happens to like my female friends, my sisters, my cousins. God help that guy, really. God help that guy. I will sit on you, and that's just for starters.
I really don't understand this kind of voyeurism kink. Okay, but let's say if you think there's someone that has this kind of kink, what are some of the things that you think they should look out for, or like how can they seek help?
First of all, recognize your flaws. Stop visiting all those funny websites that show you that feed your kink. I mean, if you want to go and do, you are very much into like what's a familiar one? I like feet. You know, some people like a lot nowadays. Like feet is a very feet fetish is a very big thing. I don't know why. Yeah. Google it lah, bro. I know, just I don't know, seek help. I guess like go to a counselor. I have a problem. I like to take upskirt photo.
I also know that there are some very, very closed door clubs that actually exist so that people can act out their kinks, so be it partner swapping or voyeurism, this kind of thing. There are private clubs that do this kind of thing. So my opinion is that if you really, really feel that this urge very hard to keep down, or like you don't want to seek treatment for it because you don't think you're sick, then at least go to this kind of controlled environment where nobody gets hurt. Because I think doing this kind of things where you take without consent and then people get hurt, and then this kind of photos leak even worse, right? Then I think it's the worst possible outcome.
Why these kind of acts exist, it's the thrill, the thrill that gives them that high. It's like why drug users always, go for a larger and larger dose. They want to feed that high. And same thing for, people who want to do this voyeurism thing. They want to, I feel they want to feed that high. And
could be,
and then they have to keep finding something new to reach the next level, to feed the next high, because you say you accomplished level 3 and then you want to go on to level 4, level 5, level 6. You have to do something more risque, more controversial, more daring, to really scratch that itch, feed that high. There are ways to scratch that itch, but don't break the law. Please don't break the law, because kids, remember, the law, once you break the law, it stays with you for life. Ask me how I know. Dark times we live in.
Let me get into my next segment, which is the Alamak Meter. Okay, so I have 3 short news that I'll just read it out to you. So you just let me know whether it's smart, dumb, or just plain Alamak. Okay, so our first news is that a Malaysian ex-minister said that Singapore should pay compensation to Malaysia when hiring Malaysian healthcare professionals. That is only the fair thing to do, he said. He also accused Singapore of weaponizing our deep pockets.
I just want to say 3-1, Bodo.
What the shit?
Okay, next one.
Is a fight broke out at Anderson Secondary School during a basketball match.
Smart one, because of all places you want to go and fight in a school. I mean, I saw that piece of news that it was some active SG rental, so no students were involved of the school. But okay smart you got you do it at school, CCTV all around, that kind of thing. So police like hello, police I got fight where this is the accident school. Okay, very easy, just go down, very easy. So okay par for the course, not a regular Tuesday.
I think that was our episode. Alright, that was our Lao Jiaos podcast. If you enjoyed the episode, please remember to like and subscribe. We have an episode that comes out every Friday. But at the same time, also, if you're on football, we have the football kaki that drops every Wednesday. And our Kopi Bro show where we interview fun and amazing guests from around Singapore every Monday. Now, we hope that everyone has a great week ahead. But remember,
we don't always talk cock.
But sometimes we do.
Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, God, I hate that bird.